Hey, I'm Deterius.
And I'm Sanisha, and we are your friendly neighborhood reviewers. We review all types of things from television and entertainment
to news and food. Like and subscribe to our channel.
So today we're gonna go over, this is something that I'm excited for, is the full season of Churchy 2, which is season number 2.
Yeah.
It just hit BET Plus
21st of August.
Yeah. And me and my husband have watched the first season probably at least like 4 or 5 times already.
No, for real.
I really love the concept of season 1, so we definitely were excited to see season 2. I'm a fan of All Deaf. I'm a fan of Kevo Stage to Hear. A lot of content creators you can find in there who started off on social media, who are just doing really big things. So just seeing them on the TV is just honestly so inspiring to me. I've been watching a lot of them since they probably started their channel. So just to see them on the big screen doing big things, and honestly the show is very, very great. I really like the transition from season 1. It looks, just better quality, a lot more funnier. It's theatrical. You see a lot of people in there who pop up, like we see Kurt Franklin, you done seen Tony Baker,
Was it Lecrae?
Lecrae. I did not expect Lecrae. I knew Kurt because of some of the promotions I heard. I didn't know Lecrae would pop in there. Got Tabitha Brown.
Yeah.
Just so many people in there. So, we even had
Tahir.
Yep, Tahir. We got Avion Crockett.
Yeah, Avion Crockett's in there too.
There's a lot of good actors, comedians, actresses, content creators in the show. So we're just reviewing the whole season 2.
Absolutely. So
we kind of got a breakdown. We're just looking at it because we want to refresh our minds. So that's what you see us looking out into.
Let me grab that real quick. So it starts off back in Bethlehem Temple.
This is the church Kev eventually took over in first season.
Mm-hmm. And now we have it where he's probably been at the church for like 6 months now.
Yeah.
So he's kind of got his feet set up in there, and he's still trying to manage the whole being the leader of a pastor, or being the pastor of his own church.
Yeah, most like episode 1, it's like they're going, I think it's episode 1. I don't know. I'm gonna be scooping through all different episodes because it's just whatever pops up in my head.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yes. How many episodes? 8?
It was 10.
10? So yeah, I'll just be really going in and out. It's not any chronological order like we do with the other, like Chief of War, we doing episode by episode. But this one we're just gonna talk about the whole season. And we started out there kind of struggling. I think they
had all the building inspections, and they didn't pay water.
Yeah, they were trying to have their 50th anniversary celebration.
Yeah.
Most churches, what I like about the show, honestly, is it kind of gives you, like, especially if you're a person who's been in church and you've been in leadership and you've been proactive in leadership, you kind of see all of this, like the things that it takes to run a program, and Kev and his crew. Tahir's character is hilarious. He remind me of it's funny because all of their characters really do resemble certain people in the church. Like, I've served in church for like a long time at points in my life, and he remind you of the guy that's like, he's cool, you could tell he's saved, he love God, but he still got the hood in him, man. It ain't going out no time soon. But they're struggling to try to, I'm guessing they didn't pass their inspection, so they were struggling to do their
they couldn't the water the toilet had broke down. Both of them broke down. Then the water bill hadn't been paid, and the electricity bill hadn't been paid, so they was cutting off all the electricity. The water had got turned off. It was just a problem after problem after problem. And look at the finances, it was like, well, where did all the money go?
Right.
And it's like they can't afford anything at this point in time. The church is really sinking.
Right, so they are trying to do their 50th anniversary, so they're gathering stuff together to try to do something in the parking lot, because that was just their last resort. Like, let's just do this in the parking lot. So it just has so many comedic scenes in it. The whole show honestly is just funny. I mean, it's just funny after funny after funny, just something you don't expect. It was one scene where they're doing it in the parking lot. They needed some tents, you know, some really nice tents. Like you can have a really nice program, a really nice event using tents. So Tahir's character goes and get tents from homeless people. Like, that was crazy. And they wound up calling his cousin. Okay. Here's our Savannah. You know, you can't do it without her.
But man, yeah, and then his cousin comes in with the insect
like the tents, you know, when you like are trying to
bomb the house.
Yeah, he used a tent.
Like
that you
and bro he's reliable, but
yeah, Tahir we're talking about.
You just gotta pray for him. You just gotta put a little hands on him, like.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's actually trying. Like, he's proactive, and honestly, most churches want proactive members, you know. So he a good member. He just a little ghetto and a little touched and ghetto.
A little there, man. Look at here. He could write a whole I was about to say something. He could write a whole book on Wait, hold on, you gotta be careful when you say a little touch. Yeah, you got at least throw a no Diddy in there.
All right.
You can't just say just touch. Right? Thank you.
So then, I'm just gonna go in and out. So there's another scene on here that was hilarious. So the original pastor of the church, Pastor Steiny, he's actually attracted and trying to, you know, court Mother Jean. She's back for season 2, and it's so interesting to see because her name is Lexi. I think she has a Instagram channel called Lexi Television. She just plays such an elderly woman. You wouldn't even believe that she's this youthful, you know, lady. Like, she just is proactive. She works out. She looks good. I've watched a couple of her other things that she does on her social media channel or showed up on other people's podcasts, and I'm just like, she is awesome. And then just to see her as this older elderly woman, you would think that she does a great job at playing that role. So they're starting to date, and they actually put together a date for them.
Man, yeah, that was
it was a hot mess. They decorated a diner. The lady who owns the diner is someone that's going to be Kevin's, you know, or what's the Kev's name on there? I forget. Corey, his love interest, eventually. More than likely there's a season 3. It might go into, you know, that. It's so much to unpack. Honestly, everything is popping up in my head. But they decorated her diner, and they had Tahir make the food. And then they had the leader of the worship team, praise and worship team, Calvin, do their music. Great talented man, can sing, great musician.
Got a great voice.
Beautiful scenery, great food.
You could have sung. Bro could have sung.
He could have sang a gospel song at least.
I mean, it's a date night. I
but
understand.
But you know, elderly churchy folks wouldn't mind a nice little gospel song being played in the background. I've seen people's weddings play nothing but gospel music on their reception.
I can understand the wedding, but who wants to sit at a date and hear "Never Would Have Made It"?
I don't think they would have minded compared to what did he sing? I know.
Take Me Out to the Ball Game was one of them.
Oh, that's not even Child's Nursery. But
and then row your boat. Like,
I would have rather heard Never Would Have Made It.
I mean,
because you could low-key even turn that into a love song, like Never Would Have Made It Without You, boo. You know, like, but Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
I guess you could spin it that way.
You low-key can.
But
honestly, all gospel music is love music to God. I get it. Like, I wouldn't want to hear it, but at the same time, I would have substituted for what he was singing.
Because if I'm trying to get the draw.
Well, they're not trying to get, they're churchy, older people. They're not going, they're going to wait till they go to the altar. They not kissing. Well, they might kiss.
I want to say, yeah, you want to.
Other than that, what's her name? Ain't going to have it. The lady,
you can play some Jagged Edge.
She ain't gonna have it. So they ain't, them two, and he's a pastor, they know better. They ain't young and childish like us. and be out here. Nah, older people it depends, but still, I think for them too, she ain't gonna let him get the draws till after the wedding night.
But it would have definitely set the mood.
It definitely was. I think it still turned out great, but the music we could have did without the music.
Yeah, you could have did without the music.
Or just put some instrumentals on. Y'all could have plugged in
But that's what he was supposed to do. He was originally supposed to do that. He went far left as possible, thinking that he's on American Idol or somewhere.
And if you gonna do, just sing something that's appropriate for the occasion. There was another scene. Tahir, they had a speed date night. So Tahir goes and starts. He's the chef. And most people who do go like to jail or prison, they do be cooking some fire food. I'm not gonna lie, because they gotta get creative with it. And some of them are lucky chefs. There's people who got out of prison probably own restaurants now. Started from cooking in the kitchen when they was locked up. So I don't blame him or nothing like that. But he comes out with spreads and noodles and crackers with cheese whiz and hot dogs. But it's so funny though, because being a part of a church, like the budget was what? All he had was $33 to work with, or it was either
$33.
Yeah, so he had to come up with. I said he had to come up with some type of hors d'oeuvre, some type of food. I said I would have made some spaghetti.
No, for real.
Spaghetti, some garlic bread, probably a little salad would have been.
Nah, that probably would have went over.
No, it wouldn't have.
Cause you know how much expensive that garlic bread is, even if you buy the store brand.
You could go to Dollar Tree. They got garlic bread at Dollar Tree.
But the spaghetti definitely would have been my first choice.
Or even maybe a taco bar, because the shells, some meat. I would have bought like even some nachos, just a little bag of chips, some cheese and chips and some jalapenos, and that could have worked.
With $33, you could have got some hot dogs. Yeah, you could have got chili cheese dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could have went a lot of different places. He went to
the spread, the jailhouse menu. Even with all of that, one of the ladies who are on their team, I forget, she plays in House of Pain. Sharon. I just like how she actually stood up for him. Like a lady was like bragging on him and saying how just bad the food was, and which probably was true. Some people liked it. Cause I ain't gonna lie, when I seen the little spread and he put the little pork rind next to it, I said I would have tore that up. I love spreads. I make me spreads all the time, and that's from my daddy, cause he came out and he used to make spreads, and they were so good. So I would have slid that thing and ate that. It would have been great. And honestly, even the cheese whiz and the cracker would have been good. I would eat that.
I would eat that.
Yeah, I don't like the can, and I don't like it, but it's actually pretty good though. I just don't think it's good for you.
A Goofy movie.
Mm-hmm, with the little cheese whiz,
Boy.
So it wasn't like it was horrible, like he done gave him some spoiled stuff or something nasty. It just probably wasn't. I mean, for a church event, it's not appropriate, and ain't nobody going to eat that. So yeah, but one of the ladies was talking bad about him, because I think he was either trying to speed date as well, I don't know, and the lady just was not feeling it, and she just went in on his food, and Sharon came to his rescue and supported him and showed up for him, and I really like that about the show, because it kind of shows the beauty in community and how people can accept people for who they are. And if you see somebody trying in church, to just back them up, and don't worry about what they aren't doing, or even if they're doing things that aren't particularly church culture or godly in a sense, because he would fight. I'm pretty sure he'd fight. He'd probably cut somebody out fast, quick, and in a hurry. He's very rough around the edges, been to jail, but he was a safe person, and he also tried, and he was there, and he's proactive. He was doing more than what a lot of people are doing in church. So she gave him she just backed him up and really was encouraging to him, even on the night of because he got talked about because of the food. When they had the night of the date for the pastor, he was kind of struggling with his confidence, and Sharon got him together. He was taking forever to put the food out because he didn't want to be judged. He was scared, and then she got him together as far as encouraging him and uplifting him, and he brought that food out. That food looked amazing.
Not for real.
Got the ribs and
I could definitely see them dating.
I thought they were, low key.
Maybe
me too.
Next season.
Because even Sharon kind of into the thuggish, because the guy who brought the tent,
yeah,
he was a little thug too. She over there flirting with him, and he flirted with her, but she flirting back, and that was funny.
Not for real. So I could definitely see that.
Just the encouragement, like, of how she was just really had his back. Like, I was like, oh, they might start dating. I was waiting for it, but it didn't really happen that way. Another episode was funny. They actually hit the lotto.
Bruh.
And they had so many tickets that they had to go through. They couldn't find the ticket, and they had to turn the ticket in before 6 p.m. that day.
Yeah.
And they finally found a ticket after all of this. They tried to keep it secret. You know, black people can't hold no water. And it's what, $3 million? I think it was, or it was $1 million for sure. At least one.
I think it might be 3, maybe 6 million. It was somewhere. I think it was like $3 million. $3 million.
Yeah. So they finally got it to the
$1.4 million, something like that.
Yeah, it was like yeah. I think it was 1.4.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got it finally to turn it in, and by the time they got there, was a couple minutes late. And that could have just set them all together. It had everything up, the bills,
right,
all of that. And it was just funny when they all got in the car, they all just slamming their hands and it was just hilarious. That scene was hilarious. I'm trying to think of some other things. I would definitely recommend though people watch the show.
The Bible Bowl, where they had the tournament against.
Oh Lord.
I was waiting on you to say it.
That was a hot mess. Luckily Sharon pulled up because Sharon was studying and she was studying hard. They over there playing. She getting it all. She doing her due diligence.
For real.
And she pulled up for them because they was losing.
Man, badly. They was getting dog walked. Like, I don't know how they lost overall but I guess when you are cheating, when the other church was cheating,
they was, because they gave them simple answers like what was the first book of the Bible,
right?
And then they gave them something like spell Deuteronomy in Hebrew or something crazy like that.
It was. I've never even heard some of these things. Right.
So they did them hecka foul. Luckily Sharon pulled up with some of the questions and honestly they did catch up, but then they won.
They won the first round.
Yeah,
it was
they
the second
did.
round that they lost.
Was it like the sing off or something like
the praise off?
Yeah, and they had professional singers, and they on the other team had professional singers on there, so they wasn't gonna win on that one.
I'm still not sure how they lost overall, but like I said, I guess when you're rigging the contest in your favor, that's how you win. Because honestly, it should have been a draw, because Corey and Bethlehem won the first round. Mm-hmm. The second round they lost. But I don't understand how they lost overall.
Right.
If it was a draw in that manner.
Unless I'm like missing another part to the competition, but no, I think
there was only 2 parts that they showed. So, but like I said, when you got the judge that's in your favor, you got everybody else. It's like, I guess that's how they really ultimately lost, but because they weren't supposed to win in the first place. Another crazy part was when they had the whole Black Panther boycotting, where Pastor Stymie and Mother Jean dressed up as Black Panthers, and they staged a sit-in at Breeze. I think it was Breeze
Diner. They did talk about don't get on no buses. It's only 10 of us. Like that's gonna make it like it was just funny. I was like, okay, she gonna take it to the max.
Look, I was on Breeze side with that. Like y'all could have went anywhere. Y'all problem is downtown. Why y'all gotta come into my shop?
Right. Oh, then they had Keith Lee.
Yeah, Keith Lee.
Yeah, he popped in there to review her diner. That was funny. He basically paid himself. Yeah, the protest was hilarious, and then Tahir gathered some like the signs, and it was horrible.
They decided to cut them in half, and when they went downtown to City Hall, it turned to backfire on them. Your heart was in the right place, don't get me wrong. Just the signs left the wrong message.
And then y'all want support from the mayor, but he basically was just like the sign said something negative about the mayor. I believe.
We hate mayor.
Yeah, just something crazy.
At the 50th anniversary, the little boy preaching.
And he's a content creator on social media. I believe he's a pastor's son. I'm not sure, but I know he does that all the time. Like he reenacts preaching.
He wasn't supposed to preach. He was supposed to only say a few words. He went into a whole full sermon.
I kind of wish I would see more of Tony. Tony was more like a little hater from Texas.
Yeah, he had a few pop-up scenes.
Yeah, but I would like to see Tony more on the big screen in general. I would love to see him in all type of movies. He's just funny. And I noticed when because I watch their podcast, the Ball Brothers. I watch his movie reviews and show reviews at times. And he always wanted to play like a villain. So he kind of got that, vibe to play the villain. He was one of the villains in the show. I'm trying to take down Kevin's church or Calvin's church.
Corey.
I get everybody's name.
Calvin is the praise.
You're right, Corey's church. Oh, then the ex pops up from the first season.
Bruh. Yeah.
The one who left, basically. I don't know if you ever watched it, but I would recommend for you guys to watch both season 1 and 2 on BET Plus. But yeah, that was a hot mess. And then, I knew it wasn't gonna work because, like, if you trying to date a guy who's trying to pursue being a preacher, who's a genuine, kind guy who really does abide or believe in the faith, and you trying to encourage him to have sex with you outside of marriage, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. It'd be one thing if they both was on the same accord and he just doing his own thing, and maybe he get it together and they get married, because it happens that way. Let's not act like it don't. It happens a lot.
Man.
But at least, people get married, they right their wrongs, and they figure it out. But for her to try to influence him, and kind of like, I don't know, seduce him in a way, I was like, yeah, that ain't gonna work. She wanted to influence him to come back and not pursue him pastoring. But she come back with another guy. They walking around chained together with some, I don't even know what that was about.
It looked like, I'm not sure if it was the Source Awards or some award show where Snoop Dogg had the 2 women with the leashes on around their neck. Like, it was a bad look.
It was. Just to kind of see, kind of like this, when you think about like the personal aspect of that whole situation, like she didn't want Kev or Corey. She didn't want Corey to move, but then you pop up all the way. Now all of a sudden you here. You couldn't just be there. And then she's like, oh, he paid for my ticket, but you had a decent, really good paying. She had a really good paying job in first season once. I mean, first season. So I'm confused. Like, why do you care about him paying a ticket for you? Maybe she lost her job or something.
Could be.
And then you could show up in, what was it? Is it Atlanta or Texas? That was Texas. You could show up in Texas now, but you couldn't show up when he was, Bullock or something like that. Yeah. But she couldn't show up then, but now she all parading around with a whole nother man in Texas now all of a sudden. Which it's only been 6 months. That's crazy.
Very crazy.
That's sad too. I felt bad. Like, oh, Corey's a good guy. He don't need her. He need a good woman. He need a good little decent woman. And him and Bree have a couple little moments that they share where they kind of seem very compatible. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I think they'll work out better than the previous lady, unfortunately.
No, for real. They're way better because the chemistry is there.
Yeah.
The final judgment for the church, because they wanted to tear down the church. So
first of all, let's talk about them preparing for this. They wanted him to, do a new look. He always wearing suits. He a pastor. I mean, suits is okay, but they wanted to show him up and do him something different. So the option that they had when they dressed him up and he'd walk up in the room, walking in with a cheetah print shirt and chains around his neck, looking like Calvin.
Looking like he was off of Grand Theft Auto, Vice City Stories, and he finna go up in there with the taco meat. Like
you're going to court
for real
in front of political
in front of the mayor to argue your case for why your church should still be a building instead of turned into a play area. So you want him to dress like a 1980s pimp?
They ain't even him. You ain't never seen him dressed like that. I said, if they at least want to be casual, they could have on, I said, a little button up and some jeans. Like, just like what you got on right now. At least if you want to switch it up. Something decent, simple. I wouldn't even recommend jeans for court, going into, talking to officials. But at least it's
casual.
Right. I don't know what they were trying to do. And then, so he puts on the suit. Nice suit. Looks decent. He walking there.
With the goddamn toupee.
I could not stop laughing. I said, I can't do this.
And it wasn't even lined up. It was just plastered on there. You could tell it was a hot mess.
And then it was cold because when Tahir got there, he like, where Corey at? Where Corey at? This is in front of the officials. This is in front of the political party. This is in front of, everything's already started. They're getting ready he's trying to persuade them that they should be able to keep their church open. And he just bust out laughing. I'm like, these people are ghetto and crazy. It was just funny. I just really, really liked the show. Like, I done watched it twice already through all episodes because.
Yeah, he climbed, and then he deserved it. He deserved. Why? Of all things, if you're gonna do that, at least make it look natural. Get the line up. You know, maybe a little a taper.
Yeah.
Something. But to go in there and just plaster it on your head and just walk up in there like everything, like nobody gonna notice.
You was bald yesterday. You was bald this morning. Hot mess. And it's so funny though, because that's a Kev on stage move. I could tell he might have thought of that because he always popping up on Great Taste and other freaking videos with dreadlocks and hats. I'm like, yeah, this is a Kev thing. He did this. He had to do this, so it's just funny.
And it was great to see their kids in there.
Right, Melissa popped up for a couple seconds. The two sons popped up for a couple seconds.
Was that actually Tahir's son?
I don't think so. No, Tahir I think has a daughter in real life. He has a daughter in real life.
Okay, because
he did look like him, just like him. The freckles, the skin tone, the hair color,
facial, like
the eyes, like they have the same features.
It looked really, really like Tahir's kid.
I wonder how did they find him? Like, I wonder if they just happened to come across it and they're like, hey, we need to put him in the movie, or was this a part of the script?
Just like Tahir, for real.
Yeah, it was already a part of the script, like, just like him. I was like, no, that's creepy. And it was somebody else that popped up too, I was about to say, but I forgot. One of Angel's sons popped up and when they had the VBS, the Vacation Bible School.
Oh yeah,
which was hilarious because it wasn't supposed to have it was I think the following week or a little later, but the flyers went out and had the date for that. Tahir again with the flyers. And they showed up and the lady dropped her daughter off and he calling her back like, no, you gotta come pick her up. She like, nah, I'm finna get my nails done. I can't. Like, how you just gonna leave your child with people who ain't hosting? So they had no choice. They went back in. It was about 10, 12 other kids there, so they had VBS. That's just how it worked out.
That's how the thing goes. When you got teammates like people on your team like the people that they had, it's understandable there's going to be a lot of like if Tahir couldn't even spell Bible right,
I forgot about that.
What makes you think he gonna put the right thing on the? He was more like the code of the show.
Yes, he was. Martin. Yes, he was. Like loyal, great dude, your friend to the end, but slow.
Very slow.
And his was more hood slow than Cole was like duncy slow. His was more, what's wrong? Like you gonna do something ghetto and just think nothing of it. Like, no, we don't do that here. The jail scenes was crazy.
Yeah.
They went and then it's so crazy how Tahir knows the warden or the main person who owns the jail. They dapping it up and cool. He walking around like I don't know what jail in America just gonna let you go on a tour and be walking around talking to the inmates. It's one thing for y'all to go and you ministering and you might be having meetings or y'all trying to visit them with behind with.
That's right. Whatever you just said, I'm in agreement with it.
I need to record her. But yeah, I can see if it was like that, like where you have guards there. No, they walking around like they tour, like it's just like they going on a house tour or something. You going? Okay, but can you go away from the tripod? Yeah. So honestly. Oh, then Kirk Franklin with the
braids.
Then the whole audition, he's trying to do Shakespeare and he's doing other Shakespeare pieces. Let's just say he want to do Othello. He's
Macbeth.
Just reciting and getting mad when somebody's correcting him, when Calvin corrects him. So I would just be like, all right, it's your show. It's your show, sir. I'm gonna let you have that. But it's a lot of really good. I don't know, I just really like the show. Like, so what would you say like your take is, or like any takeaways, or I mean, I guess you can't say predictions because it's in the show, but any like takeaways and stuff from the shows. All right, show episodes.
So now you heard my wife's side of it. Now I'm gonna give you my point of it. I thought it was funny, but I thought they focused on too much on trying to be funny. Whereas season 1, they had, the name of the show is churchy. You would think that at some point, and maybe it's being a little too picky, but you have an actual church sermon instead of it being, most of the interactions were outside of the church. The only time they really were in church was when they was looking for the lottery ticket. They was doing some modifications, but like most of the interactions were outside of the church. And I get it, there is different portions of the church that, different things happen, but this felt more like Corey's personal life than it really was about the church. A lot of the rumors that were spread about Corey, that he was in a polygamous relationship with his ex-fiance and her new man, it seemed like they tried to be hyper focused on being funny instead of sticking to letting the main thing be the main thing. Whereas first season, first season was like they was fighting for their rent. Like, rent is due, and we got to get this out here the best thing possible.
You mean
personalized? Like, they was actually hyper. It felt more like the theme of the whole show, churchy, because you have the church dynamics where Corey and his father, Corey's supposed to be taking over for his church for his father, and he gets passed over. Then he goes off and start to Lubbock to go find his own church that he wants to lead, and then he goes down there, and everything felt more like the theme of the show, where he's going to another church, he's trying to become the pastor of that one. There's another pastor coming in who's auditioning for the pastor of the church as well. It was more of a church dynamic versus this season was more of a, it wasn't really they strayed away from the goal. And not saying that it was bad, because like I said, it was funny, but if the name of the show is churchy, it should feel more like a church feeling, and it kind of didn't. It was more of a sitcom that's about, that has church themes in it, but it's not too much of the church. And there were parts of it where you could see like the Bible Bowl, where they actually had incorporated church themes in there, but it just felt more like something else than what the original purpose of it was.
Yeah, I can see that now. Yeah, you can say it that way.
Overall, I like this show. I just wish they kept it to more, because there was only a couple of times where there was actually a sermon kind of inside of the show, and that was when the young man got up there and he was supposed to only say a few words for the church 50th anniversary, and they didn't even do a lot with that. And then the young man got up there and he was preaching for the 50th anniversary. That was the one sermon. And then when Corey, at the episode 10, when he was in front of the mayor arguing for his church, he kind of gave a little of a sermon. That's the only time that it felt like it was church themed versus, and I get there's pastors have their own little rivalry. I get, the bills and stuff that happens, but a lot of the stuff took the Keith Lee. I thought that was overdoing it. Now you're on the first one. They had, what's his name, Toby.
Yeah.
They had some people.
He didn't even go. They just wanted to get him, but they
got the knockout version of him, but
yeah.
They had certain people, pop up, but it feel like this season, because now the show is popular, they adding in extra people to try to
get more views.
And yes, pastors and people in the church do go to the prisons, but I honestly feel like they could have done something something more in the church. You got Lecrae and
I didn't like what he said to Lecrae though. That was really powerful.
Yeah.
Like I did like that part.
And you got Kirk Franklin. Somebody could have at least showed up in the church, you know, and they had a Sunday service, because they didn't really have a Sunday service this entire season.
Nah, they didn't. And they had at least a couple in the first season.
Yeah, they had it was a lot more in the first season than it was in this season. And it just, like I said, it kind of took away from the theme of the show being called churchy. And Corey, like I said, like they hyper focused on the comedy portion, which is cool, because Corey never addressed any of the rumors. It didn't feel the same anymore. And you see this a lot when shows become popular. Then now they start changing everything. And one time, part of it could be good, but then part of it is like we're doing too much. And a lot of times it felt like they were doing too much. Now, although it was funny, don't get me wrong, although it was funny, I found myself not even laughing at some of the stuff anymore, because there would be a couple parts where I would laugh, but then it was like, man, y'all tried too hard. Like, y'all didn't have to force it, because a lot of it felt forced. And when I was really excited, I've been waiting for Churchy season 2. I was really waiting on it, and then because of season 1.
Yeah. And
then when it started, it was like, man, it's not what. It was a disappointment, because the bar was so high for season 1, and it just felt like they dropped it. And I believe they could have, incorporated, Tony and all of them in here and keep it somewhat funny, but I would have liked it to keep to the theme. And I think that's mostly what I keep saying it, because that was the thing that really kind of was, if I had to grade them, first season would get an A. This season would get a C+. Strictly off of the theme of the show, the straight drop, like it was a really, really forced comedy, and they didn't have to. They're funny. They're all really, really funny people, but you don't have to. It's like they were sitting in a room and like, oh, what would be funny with this? Well, we could do this. Whereas, okay, how can we fit this into the theme? Let's incorporate what we had, what worked for us in season 1, and let's add to that, instead of scrapping the whole thing. Because most of the time, a lot of the scenes were at Bree's Diner and in the car. But I think between City Hall, it's 3 places. Between City Hall, Bree's Diner, and in the car, those were the most of the time you saw where things were happening at. You rarely see, it was like a little bit of the church was actually used in it. But you got the show called Churchy. So I think they missed their mark on that portion. Comedy wise, like I said, the comedy was there. I just think because of the theme of it, you should have, you could took out some of the things, some of the scenes, and actually added it in the church. Because how you gonna fight for a church and you're not even in the church? Like, they showed the other, I forget his name, but Mother Jean's nephew, who was caught stealing sermons on YouTube, he was even in the church more than they were. He was in the church more than they were. Now, granted, they only showed him a few times, but when they showed him, he was actually in the church. When you see Corey's at the Bree's Diner, he's falling asleep in the car, or he's at City Hall. Rarely was he in the church. Even the 50th anniversary was outside of the church in the parking lot. It wasn't even inside of the building. And
maybe that was their theme. Maybe I know for us, we have our own expectations, but maybe his theme is to get it outside of the church. maybe, because a lot of people are honestly feeling that way these days, is you don't got to go to the building, all that. I'm not saying people shouldn't go to churches. I do think Kev does advocate for church. He advocates for the Bible, advocates for God, but I just think maybe that was like, I wonder what their vision was, what their process was with the show.
It always has to be like inside the church, but it is called churchy, so you should at least be preaching at some point.
Yeah, but churchy could mean other things. It doesn't just have to mean inside the church, because you could tell, like, by the way somebody talks, you can say, oh, that person's churchy. Yeah,
okay, so first season, Corey was heavily on the social media aspect of the church.
I would have liked to see that too, more social media stuff.
This season, he wasn't even on that either. Like, it's like a whole different.
That is true.
A whole different flip.
Two different themes. Yeah, it does. Very true. I could see.
So, even if it was gonna go with, they could have the service outside, or outside like how they did for the 50th anniversary. They could actually show a service going instead of it being about.
Yeah, because they didn't show not one sermon. They did the singing, he did the praise dance, and then they did the little boy, and then they had somebody donate, and that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
And then the food, of course, the serving. And it was beautiful to see the homeless getting fed, even though their tents was taken. It was funny, but I do like that. Like, there's a lot of church aspects to it as far as community, but as far as like the preaching and stuff, and maybe there are some areas that does not show at all in the show when it comes to church. So I could get that, like the speed dating thing. I've never seen that in church ever.
I've never heard.
I think it's a cool idea if you're looking for Christians nowadays. You got apps and all that, so that's new. I can tell they're trying to be more for today's age. Like, it's trying to fit that narrative for today's age. Like, and also I get like the financial part of it. Like, we be pulling the church folks will.
I just didn't understand the speed dating at the church at that.
Yeah, but I could get it. I don't know if any pastors today would even go for that. To be honest, the pastors I've worked with or under, they ain't even like, nah, y'all got that.
That's not. It's cool to find your soulmate,
right? And you will find them in church. A lot of people have met in church and got married, and you know that's cool. But you just never know what you. Yeah, we met in church. Yeah, so
to actually have a speed dating, and then I don't know because even how Pastor Steiny was like, this could go terribly wrong, and Mother Jean, they was. You could tell they was like,
Yeah, they old school though too. So I'm like, I could get they're trying to advocate for the new generation, because a lot of elderlies wouldn't even allow it. They would have came and shut that down and been like, no, this not going on. So I do think there was a level of trying to cater to the new generation, trying to do something different. There's
a lot of things ways they could have done that. Yeah. Without having to. And that's where because
the social media aspect, definitely. Season 1, I get that, because a lot of people were struggling with social media until COVID happened. Now all the churches want to get on it, because at first churches didn't want to fool with social media at all.
The Vacation Bible School was a great idea.
Yeah, I like the Vacation Bible School.
I just don't know about the speed dating inside the church. Now, I get it. You want to get people to come in.
Yeah, they dating anyway. A lot of them doing stuff anyway. Might as well. So, I think if people can do it maturely, but it's just, I don't know if people can do it maturely. That's the hard part, right? But I guess that's up to other people and their salvation and their personal decisions. But
so I'm not really even too picky off of that. It's just,
I'm just trying to think of what did happen in the church. The speed dating, the 50th anniversary, the VBS.
Yeah. Honestly,
that was pretty much rehearsal for the 50th anniversary, and then the competition. Yeah, the
competition wasn't at the church.
Okay. Oh, yeah, looking for the lottery ticket. Yep. That was honestly it. I was trying to think like, no, there was more church, but no, not inside. No.
Everything else was outside.
Yeah, and I get it, because they had to figure it out. You got to go out to go figure out how to pay.
Yeah, I don't have no problem with going to City Hall, because that happens. That actually happens.
I do like the prison thing, because a lot of churches don't do that. You should be visiting. It even says that biblically. You could visit people. Well, you should visit them in prison. Or Jesus said that. When I was in prison, you visited me. I believe he's talking about how we are with other people.
With in Romans, when in the midnight hour. when they got the praying in prison.
Oh, you talking about Paul?
Yeah. They got the praying in prison.
But that was more like the angel, I think, and the Holy Spirit opened up the chains or whatever to free them.
But what I'm saying is, it's like, it don't matter where you are. Because you see a lot of even the people on social media at times, they're in the prisons, they're praising, and you see people worshiping.
Yeah.
So I mean, the prison, that actually happens.
Yeah.
But
everything outside of that, though, you don't see a lot of.
You don't really see. They went completely away from the Sunday services.
Mm-hmm.
They went completely away from the social media aspect of the church, which was Corey's. That was his whole bread and butter.
Yeah, very true.
And he was supposed to be expanding the social media department at Bethlehem.
That's true.
But now you didn't see nothing with that. And on the first season, they had the younger,
you're right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You didn't really see that anymore.
Yeah, I would have liked to see old boy come back, the younger one with I think they had the big hair. I would have liked to see him come back, if it was possible. But just this is our review.
Just any youth to come back. But then Corey was also on the first one. He was actually helping the elderly. With their groceries, with all the stuff to try to get.
That's true.
With the church.
Funerals,
Funerals. Mm-hmm. He was talking to the married couple. That stuff happens, but you didn't see none of that this year.
That is facts. Like, I really liked it for the comedy. Like, I didn't really. I would have liked it to be a lot more like you said, but the preaching, but also the struggle, like the personal aspect. There was some struggles with finances, and then him being talked about in the media, that's like hurtful, but I kind of wish they would have made it more personal, made him like show him feeling that, or showing how, I don't know, I think it could have been a lot more personal, because a comedian, because sometimes when it's too much funny, and that's like you going to somebody and you're in pain and they trying to make you laugh, and it's like, bro, I don't, because even after my mom passed, people tried to do that to me, and I'm like, what makes you think I'm in a space to laugh? So I just had to I get it, but that's not helpful right
and
now.
That's what I mean.
So like leaning in, I could feel like.
That's what I mean. Like they was trying to be focused hyperly on being funny, because they left a lot of things unaddressed.
Yeah.
Like, granted, Corey did eventually get to keep the church.
Yeah, and that's beautiful. Very beautiful. And Corey's character is just beautiful and all. You can say a kind person, love God.
Then you had the situation with his ex-fiance, and her man.
He went through a lot within that 6 months.
He's pressing Corey about some situation that he never even said, but Corey never even addressed it. And they kind of just leave it at where it was. And it's like, there was a lot that was...
Yeah, they could have just brought more feeling, I think. Besides the comedy, the laughing, I think they should have brought more personal.
It's a situation where less is more
human,
at times.
More humanness. Yeah, because even Kurt Franklin was funny. Even Lecrae, I did like how they did it, but it was still it was funny. Like, even how he kind of ministered to Lecrae, he did get him to I liked that's pretty dope. I never heard that before, but I wish it was a little more leaning into the emotional aspect of it. But I think that was a good scene. That was a really good scene to just not judge him, because he came in looking crazy with the straight jacket, and for Kev to just have the courage to even sit down with him, because a lot of people are not going to do that. And even somebody mama just walking up to you. Yeah, his mom was like, "Oh, I need you to go visit my son." He like, "Cool. Where he at in prison?" Like, I would have been like, no. Like, once he got pulled in, I was like, yeah, I'm finna go. This is a lot. So I do think there was it was there, but it just didn't fully pull it out. Like, it was potential there to do that. Yeah,
they could have went a lot of different ways. And I'm not saying that you can't be comedic, but
because the first one was very funny too.
Yeah.
This one was even more funnier to me. I liked it. I just wish they would have leaned more into
the church aspect,
the personal aspect, the people.
Yeah, and how they kept it like how they did in the first season.
Yeah.
And then add the funny parts, because you could do that.
Yeah.
You could very much, the Bible Bowl, you could have incorporated that, but you could also have the sermon, because we didn't really see a lot that we had seen before. Like, there's a lot of things that a church theme that they could have went with this, but like I said, they made it more about outside of the church, which is okay. Like, sometimes it's good to be in the community, but you gotta at least keep it towards the theme of the show. And I feel like this season, they really went away.
And maybe that was their goal, but that's just our take. This is our opinion.
It's our take on this.
I still encourage people to purchase BET Plus and watch both seasons.
You should watch it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you shouldn't.
If you want a good laugh and you just want to be, because I think that's the goal for Kev on Stage. He is a comedian. Tony Baker is a comedian. Mm-hmm. You see other comedians. Brody was in there. I forget his name. Brody. He was in the audience. Angel. No, she wasn't in there. She wasn't this time. But there's a lot of Tony Baker. Like, there's comedians. So I get to hear he's a comedian. Yeah. So it's Rand, but mostly comedians. Or not Rand, but it's mostly a lot of comedians found in the show. So I get it. So if you just want a good laugh to just take your mind off, your stress or your worries, I think it's a really good show to watch. I agree, though. I do think it was just a little more personal. Because there was a scene with Tahir I really liked where he was really trying to get them tense and he walked off sad. Yeah. And then she was like, I think his character was a little more personable, though. Honestly, I think he resonated with a lot of people. Especially those who are not churched, who didn't grow up in church. I think he's that typical guy who's gonna come in he'd have been to prison, or maybe he grew up in church but he fell off and now he's coming back, and I think I liked his character. He honestly helped me resonate because I didn't grow up fully in church 100%, but those type of people honestly helped me see God a lot more, to be honest, because of the transformation, just them trying to really put forth that effort. They're loyal. And to hear his character, he had even in with her in the restaurant when he was cooking for the couple. He was struggling. He was insecure about it, and she boosted up his confidence. And I'm like, that's cool. They showed the human part. So there's some parts to it, but I wish it was a little bit more. I could even for us a couple of other characters maybe. But I would even like more with the Corey's. I wish his was more his struggle because they showed it a lot on the first season.
Yeah, and I love Calvin, but I love Calvin's character. But on the first season, he was a little bit more serious than he is now.
Very true, and he was a little bit more proactive with the praise and worship. Yeah. I know they had a situation where his throat, voice went out, and it was funny. I liked that aspect to it or whatever, but he had started dating. I guess from what they said, the girl broke up with him, but maybe they couldn't get her back. He
messed up. But that happens a lot with. You hear that a lot from musicians in the church. Yeah. They're the hoes of the church. I mean, let's call a spade a spade now. We ain't putting that out. They be the ones that's really be getting around. But yeah, like I said, overall I would give it a C+ this season. Yeah. I understand it's more of the comedic route, but there was I felt like it was forced a lot of times. Where they was just doing overly goofy stuff that even with the them finding a lottery ticket with the Kev on Stage had another character. Oh right. Where he was in a Lost and Found. Yeah. It just felt like you overly. It kind of gives more skit vibes, it's a skit show compared to, and then maybe that's what they're gonna transition to. Maybe I don't know, but it kind of does look like different skits, different scenes. And it's more just funny, like SNL type vibe. I wouldn't mind it. And had it not felt, a lot of it felt forced. Yeah, it's really because of the first season, really. So you kind of expect that same kind of thing going. But if that's their transition, that's just their transition. Mm-hmm. I would give it a B. I liked it because I just the funny parts to me, I just was kind of looking forward to funniness, and I just like seeing. I'm a fan of a lot of people that were showed, even the extras. I see a lot of them on. I see a lot of people on Great Taste. I see a lot of people on All Def, the different roast me. You just see a lot of different people on there. So that's for me. I was just excited to see something on the TV, especially for us Black folks. Yeah, it was great.
So I give it a B, just for the comedic aspect of it. I'm okay with where if they decide to make it more just comedic and sketchy, I'm cool with that. But. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. At this point, I don't know if they do have a season 3, which I hope they do.
They probably will get
It's probably now at this point, if we kind of have that expectation that's going to be more comedic, then that's probably what we're going to get on season 3. It's a lot more comedy, which is cool.
I would if now what I would hope they would do is for me personally, I would hope they would kind of combine it to make a happy medium. Yeah. Put the or just revert back to, well, no, I wouldn't say revert back to fully to season 1, but season 1 was kind of like that happy medium. It had the comedy portion, it had the drama feel, because you actually felt for Corey with him getting passed over, and then what happened with the person who passed him over, how that turned out. So you kind of felt for Corey, but if they decide to go that route with being more of the comedy section, I'm not even gonna lie, I probably won't even watch it. I'll probably tune in to see how the first episode is, and that'll give it kind of a, and then I'll just make my decision there. But
well, I definitely would encourage people, if you watch Churchy, let us know what y'all thought. Like, do you feel like it needed to be a little more personal? Do you feel like it was fine where it was at? What is your take on it? Definitely comment below. I would love to hear other people's opinions and just aspect. And this is just our opinion, our channel. We're going to be reviewing other shows, other movies, and this is just one of them because we both are looking forward to this. Churchy season 2. He rewatched Churchy season 1, so I was just shocked to even see him one time just put it on again. I was like, oh, he liked this show. I didn't think he would, because I'm a fan. I'm just a fan of Kev. If they come to Sacramento, I want to go to their shows. I just genuinely love them all together. So
yeah, we actually went to go see Kev and
Tahir. And another girl that was actually was on that was on the show. She was one of the headliners too for not headliners. Maybe she was.
Yeah, here at the Laugh Factory.
She was there too, so she was actually in the show too. So I was just excited to see new faces, and I'll just be excited. I seen a commercial with Tahir on it the other day. I was so excited. Like, this is amazing.
For real.
So, I mean, I'm just excited to see them doing bigger things with their lives. And honestly, I hope to see them way more on the big screen. So definitely share this video. If you like Churchy, or if you don't, let us know what your take was on the show as well, and any takeaways you have. So we definitely will get back to other shows and other movies. We appreciate you guys. We're at over 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel, so I'm excited about that. I'm hoping we can get to 1,000 really soon. I don't know, that's it. Peace out.
Peace.